I have to keep going, right? Described by one interviewer as an empty-headed bodybuilder, Dude is the opposite. I'm sorry, a composite of Ryan Reynolds' face digitally grafted on the body of bodybuilder Aaron W. Reed. Dude doesn't get introduced until the final fight scene. So we'll need a few additional details about Free Guy's plot to understand why he appears so late in the story and the real reason why Ryan Reynolds wrote him into the script. And just in case you guys are curious what Dude looks like, he looks like this guy. Okay. That's Aaron Reed's body. That's Ryan Reynolds' scary face. And that's your final shot. So I'm not going to get into the details of Free Guy. I feel like that's really, really far, but that's really hard. But if you have seen the movie, basically, Free Guy figures out that he is in a video game. And since Antoine, who is that Taiki guy that we just talked about, is the main villain, the audience expects to see Guy and Antoine face off in the game worlds at the end. Yet, spoiler alert for Free Guy, instead of entering the game as an avatar of himself, like of the other people, Antoine deploys Dude, who is an NPC replacement for Guy to take advantage of his viral popularity. Dude is unintelligent. Absurdly unintelligent, so unintelligent that instead of fully finished thoughts, he uses placeholder words in his sentences. The explanation is that Dude wasn't finished being developed when Antoine rushed to send him into the game. So he's this underdeveloped, not fully finished kind of bully guy. It says in a promo clip for the film, Dude raises his hand in a wave and says, "Friendly gesture." In the film, Dude introduces himself at the beginning of the fight by literally saying the word catchphrase. As he starts to beat up Guy, he says, "There are 3 things I love in life: kicking ass, TBD, third thing here." So they're making him sound like he is like devoid of a brain. Okay. And in the final exchange, Guy, this is Ryan Reynolds' character, who is the ultimate nice guy in the story, makes it clear that he even thinks Dude is adult. "You're great, Dude. I just missed my best friend," Guy says, talking about how Buddy was deleted from the game during the final conflict. Dude replies, "I could bench press a sentence." Yeah, that's totally not the same thing at all, Guy says. Dude laughs and says the words, "harder laughter." Okay. Reynolds didn't just feature Dude in Free Guy. He also created a completely separate 2-minute clip that he uploaded to his YouTube channel called Next Level Reynolds. Let's just watch a little bit of it. And I'm sorry to put you through this again, but as you know, it's just to give you the full story of this doof.
Dude, gotta activate. Dude,
We're still working on him.
I worked on him myself. He's perfect. Drop in, Dude, now.
Who are you?
Catchphrase.
Catchphrase?
Well, and I don't think one up yet. Although catchphrase is a pretty cool catchphrase.
Am I a role model? I don't know. I mean, I do know that you hear about actors complaining about how hard their movie workouts are. And I'll tell you, I don't have time for that. I've been at this 1 week, and I gotta tell you, it's coming in nicely. I start every day with a protein bomb. It's made exclusively of human muscle. It's completely organic and illegal. Acting is mind over matter.
It's 2 minutes of basically making fun of this character. Dude. Okay. And it says, I fathered our youngest daughter when I was this muscular. The child was born full grown and wearing shoes, which was weird for Blake. Then this article says, let's break down more of the clues that Dude was inspired by or based on Dwayne Johnson. First, the use of the term catchphrase. Now, the creative team of Free Guy might try to argue that other characters all have catchphrases, meaning Dude wouldn't be an anomaly, but they're incorrect. These phrases are just part of the character's dialogue. You know who does have a lot of catchphrases and nicknames? Dwayne Johnson. He has so many, in fact, that he trademarked 25 of his own catchphrases. And bodybuilders aren't known for having catchphrases. Professional wrestlers like Dwayne Johnson are. Second are the phrases dude uses, starting with "there's three things I love." Johnson frequently uses the sentence formula of referring to several things and then listing them out. Another frequent language choice is saying the word boom, which Reynolds says as at the end of the Next Level Reynolds video that you guys just saw. And another one is kicking ass, which Dwayne Johnson says all the time in its many variations. And we literally have one clip after another of Dwayne Johnson saying kicking ass in different ways, right? Whether it's a caption or he talks about it in interviews, he's always saying those words. Third is his physical appearance. Okay. Reynolds wore a dental prosthetic to make his teeth look bigger. The tattoo of the blue shirt, the joke being that dude is too large to fit into a real one, is the same location as Johnson's on his left chest. It's worth noting that this is a Polynesian tribal tattoo that has cultural significance to Dwayne Johnson, who has Samoan and Black heritage. And finally, dude wears a gold chain that looks similar to the one Johnson wears in one of the most widely known images of his career. And it's this one. Okay, where he's wearing a black turtleneck, gold chain, and fanny pack, elbow resting on a napkin to prevent his shirt from getting dirty. And fourth is popping one pecs in a rhythmic dance, which I just showed you guys in that clip, which Johnson has been doing for years. I didn't know that, but apparently that's a thing that Johnson has been doing in many of his movies for years. Here we go. Here's an example of it.
Man, I've lived in some of the most dangerous neighborhoods. Do you think that means anything to me? No, I've got another story for you. We're going to go out here and show you exactly what we stand for. When I say kick anybody's ass, I mean by any means necessary.
That's so funny. Okay. And fifth is actors complaining how hard their movie workouts are. Johnson has openly discussed his workouts and diet throughout his career, of course, as you guys know. Sixth is Ryan Reynolds titling that video Next Level Reynolds. Although this could easily refer to Guy leveling up in the game, it could also refer to Johnson's 2019 movie Jumanji, The Next Level, which released a year and a half before. And finally, it says there's a matter of unicorns. Yes, unicorns. Recall that we mentioned the importance of Johnson starring in Central Intelligence with Kevin Hart. We talked about that earlier in 2016. Johnson's character in the story, who's bullied in high school, manages to retain his childlike interests after he grows up to become a ruthless and effective CIA agent. And one of those interests is unicorns. He says, "I'm big into corns," wearing a blue t-shirt that says, "Always be with you," with a unicorn against a rainbow backdrop. And this is that clip. Sorry, 1 second. Get me out of here. Okay. So we have so many details that are so similar, right? Because one of the weapons Ryan Reynolds uses in the final fight scene against Dude in Free Guy is a rainbow unicorn pickaxe from the game Fortnite, which leaves a trail of rainbow light as he swings it. It's unusual because the instant recognizability of Captain America's shield, the Hulk's green fist, and Star Wars lightsaber and theme song, the rainbow unicorn pickaxe from Fortnite is not very popular. It's kind of more niche, which is strange. It feels very intentional. Okay. Ironically, Dwayne Johnson's unicorn shirt is worn because he's being bullied, and he speaks about in his character that he was also bullied in junior high. You know, he and Kevin Hart are big on like talking about anti-bullying. However, Dude's character may not really bring up red flags if you look at it all separately, but if you look at it all together, it's so clear that the dude is Dwayne Johnson, just like Nice Pool was Justin Baldoni. And it was intended for one reason and one reason only, and it was to mock them. Because Dude is abnormally stupid, right? Reynolds was always asked in interviews, who's funnier between you and Dwayne The Rock Johnson? And Reynolds says, probably the guy with less muscle, because he has more time to mature those aspects of his psyche, nurture those aspects of his psyche. And Ryan Reynolds also said this about Dude. He's like some half-finished kind of character that wasn't ready for prime time. So they ship him into the game way too early to fight me. And I love the idea that I'm fighting a semi-brain dead version of myself. It's all just muscle, all show and no go.